Warriors pre- and post-game live an hour before and following each game, hosted by Bonte Hill with analysts and former Warriors Chris Mullin and Festus Ezeli. And get your Warriors news all week long on the Dubs Talk podcast with Carrot Burke and Monty Poole, featuring special guests and in-depth analysis. Authentic moments live here, only on NBC Sports Bay Area.
What's up, Dub Nation? It's Stephen Curry. I love the sound of the Warriors crowd, so I've asked for them to help with this Rakuten commercial. The app that gives you cash back at thousands of stores. Yep, Rakuten is hooking you up with a special gift if you make a qualifying purchase of $75. And Rakuten offers cash back at Warriors Shop. All right, now it's a little too much. Visit rakuten.com/Warriors.
You've been listening to the Golden State Warriors Audio Network.
Presented by United Airlines.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
That's a wrap.
Yo, that's a wrap. It was an amazing experience. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope they got some laughs, some good entertainment.
This is Warriors Wrap Up on 95.7 The Game.
Doncic has his back to Draymond. He's not even looking at him. And they're Poole and Thompson on the baseline. Curry up top. They scissor around Curry. They find Thompson left side. He's open. He shots up. No good. At the horn, the ball game is over. What a beautifully designed play. A great look for Klay Thompson. Scissored off Curry. They threw it over the top, and he was wide open.
Yeah, beautiful play to close out the night, drawn up by Steve Kerr and the Warriors coaching staff, executed brilliantly as Tim Roy laid out in the final call there, but Klay Thompson, the shot just comes up short, and that was that kind of night for the Warriors as they end up losing to the Mavs tonight in Dallas. 116-113 is the final. We welcome you inside here. Warriors wrap up on 95.7 The Game. John Dickinson with you. We'll open up the phone lines right off the top here at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570 as we react to this one. The Warriors find themselves with another road loss as Golden State now 11-11 on the season and unable to sweep this two-game road trip as the Dubs will head back home. First extended couple of days off, really first opportunity for the Warriors to have more than 1 day off in between games here for the first time in a couple of weeks, really 3 weeks. So the Warriors able to get back to the Bay and get a little bit of a breather before the games are going to come rapid fire again here beginning on Friday when the Warriors are next back in action. So let's react to this one. A lot to discuss. Really good ball game, entertaining ball game. And the Warriors ultimately come up short in this one in large part due to two things, really. The beginning of the game where the Warriors fell down by 17 early in this one and trailed by 12 at the end of the first quarter, 36-24 Mavs at the end of the first quarter. But the Mavs were able to get off to a 15-4 lead. The Warriors were not shooting the basketball well at the beginning of this game. 2 of 10 overall, 0 of 5 from 3. They had 3 turnovers in the first 6 minutes, got down 25-11, and then 31-14. So a 17-point deficit, also 34-17. The Warriors trailed by as many as 17 at that point. Had a little mini run to close the quarter, but it was really turnovers and fouls along with the poor shooting and offensive rebounding in that first quarter that set a bad tone for the Warriors, and they found themselves with the starters in the game. It did pick up a little bit toward the end of the quarter with Curry and the bench group as the Dubs had I think it was a 7-2 run to close out the first quarter to trail by 12 after being down by as many as 17. But the starters didn't have it tonight collectively, which has been rare for the Warriors on this season. It was kind of opposite night in a sense that you look at the Warriors in the plus-minus department and all of the starters were a minus, got beat by the Mavs starters in both halves and enough down the stretch. Well, the benches were in favor of the Warriors. So Warriors got down, able to flip it in the second quarter, really, and thanks to the bench group. No Wiggins at the start of the second quarter with that group, but Anthony Lamb was a part of it, making threes. Warriors had cut the lead from 17 down to 3. Steph Curry was back in the game with it, a 4-point game, and the Warriors would find themselves trailing by just 1 at the half. So great second quarter. Jonathan Kuminga, a huge part of that. Jonathan Kuminga was a spark plug for the Warriors, and I think one of the better games tonight that Jonathan Kuminga has played in his Warriors career. Certainly his best game of this season. I think without a doubt. He was a game-high plus on the floor in this one. For the Warriors, plus 21. Actually, looks like Luka ended up as a plus 22 at the very end there. So Luka ends up with a game high, but a Warriors team high plus 21. 14 points, 10 boards for Kuminga. He was bringing the energy. He was defending. He found himself defending Luka Doncic at different points in this game. And really, I think Jonathan Kuminga, one of the big-time bright spots here over the last couple of games. The role has started to go up a little bit with each game, but tonight I think was exactly how you want it to look. And in a sense, big picture, when you move away from, tough loss, starters didn't play well enough for the Warriors in this one, officials were fixated on calling traveling in the game tonight every which way. I did think the Steph Curry move of the pivot foot on the 3 where he had a clear lane to probably take a 2 at that point. I did think that was a travel, but there's a lot of things we can get fixated on in the micro as to, Klay Thompson wasn't good enough tonight. Jordan Poole wasn't good enough tonight. Andrew Wiggins wasn't good enough tonight. The starters really as a group were not good enough tonight. All of those things we can focus on in the short-term view of, hey, the Warriors lose to the Mavs, and it's a bummer and it's a tough loss. But I think in the macro, tonight is one of those games that continues to show that the Warriors are starting to figure things out in the big picture that could lead them down a path toward having a whole heck of a lot of success, even though for tonight it winds up being a one-game setback. So we'll get into that here over the course of the next hour or so. 888-957-9570. We'll hear from Steve Kerr. We'll hear from Steph Curry and maybe even Jonathan Kuminga between now and about 8:30 when we call it a night here on Warriors Wrap-Up. But let's get to the phones. The Xfinity mobile text line is open. 888-957-9570, and that's where Adam in San Jose gets us started tonight here on Warriors Wrap-Up. What's going on, Adam?
What's up, man? First of all, Jordan Poole. He keeps getting called for these palming violations. He's playing like he's on a slip and slide, constantly falling, turning the ball over because he's trying to do too much. Slow down and make a good decision. And then next, Klay Thompson, the most inconsistent player in the entire NBA, I would say, and I 100% believe in that. He has 2 good games, and then he goes on thinking that, I'm back, makes it a big deal, and then has nights like tonight, 5 points. He's the most useless player. They got to do something with him while he still has a little bit of value. Because I would honestly make a mid-season trade him before the deadline, and then Jordan
all right, thanks
Poole,
for the call.
Yep,
appreciate it. Thanks for the call. We'll move on here. We're not gonna. You're not gonna call Klay Thompson a useless player when he's won 4 NBA championships and played excellent basketball, really, for the last 5 games. I'll quibble with you there a little bit, Adam. It's actually been 5 games that he's played in where he's been really good. And look, tonight Klay Thompson didn't have it, but I'm even going to give Klay Thompson credit on a night where he doesn't have it tonight. And you know why I'm going to give Klay Thompson credit on a night where he doesn't have it? And look, he has to play better. He has to make shots. If he had the game that he's had these last week and a half, the Warriors probably win going away. But I'm going to give Klay Thompson credit because he wasn't hitting tonight, and he didn't shoot it as much tonight because he wasn't hitting. So he ended up 2 of 9, got a great look at the finish there. But we've seen so many nights where if he gets off to a poor start, as he did in this one, he seemingly is chasing it for the entire night, and that's taken the team out of having any chance to come back or play better in the game as it goes on. So I'm actually even going to give Klay Thompson a little bit of a nod, even though this was pretty clearly the worst game of the last 6 that he's had since he started playing better. And we can knock it off with the he's back and this and that. Nobody look, he's looked closer to being back these last few games, but when Klay Thompson is back, it's going to be when Klay Thompson plays over the course of an extended period. We can look at his whole season and say, Klay Thompson's had more good games than bad games. You can't 20 games into a season say that you've had, let's say, 9 bad games and 5 really good games, and you're back. You aren't back until you've at least had more good games than you've had bad games. So I think, we're all salivating over, and I don't even fault Klay Thompson this. I don't think Klay Thompson's announced in any kind of press conference that he thinks he's back or anything like that. I think he's just trying to continue to string games together, and I've been as hard on Klay Thompson as probably anybody has been in the Bay Area for his play and the shot selection. So I give Klay credit tonight because he was 2 for 9, and he didn't let the 2 for 8 or the 1 for 7 or whatever, he didn't let that turn into a 3 for 15. And if he had, we wouldn't have been talking about him having an opportunity in the final couple of seconds there on a great play and a wide open look to knock it down. Now, left that one short. Klay's left a lot of shots short. That's the kind of thing that you do look at when somebody is a little bit more fatigued at the end of a game than maybe they had been in previous times in their career, or maybe they're not quite getting the lift on their shot that they did. It's just subtle, could be even a millimeter here or there, and that's the difference between a make and a miss, and in this case, a tie and going to overtime, and maybe the Warriors and the Mavs still playing, and the Dubs finding themselves taking a loss tonight. As far as Jordan Poole goes, yeah, he's got to relax. I mean, there's no doubt. And, the shots are not falling. Steve Kerr has praised his game of late, even though the shots have not consistently been falling, but he does need to not turn the basketball over at the rate that he has been. I think shots, it's kind of a make or miss league, but you look at the Warriors with 18 turnovers tonight, that's a big tell in this one. He had 5 of the 18 in the game, and, Draymond and Curry are going to be up there in terms of turnovers. But, yeah, Poole's got to just continue to – he feels like the last step for me in what has become a bench that really has been fixed over the course of the last couple of weeks with Draymond joining that crew and everything else. So Poole is the last player that they need to unlock in the context of that whole group playing together, whether it's with Lamb tonight or Wiggins. DiVincenzo's really brought, I think, some positive intangibles to the table, and Draymond Green has helped hold the whole thing down to where both halves tonight, when Luka and Steph were off the floor, both halves tonight, the Warriors had an advantage that gave them a shot to win the game, even though the starters were not great. 888-957-9570. Let's get to Robin in San Francisco next year on Warriors Wrap-Up. Hey, Robin, what's going on tonight?
Hey, JD. So, I don't really feel, bad about this loss. There's no moral victory, whatever, but I kind of look at things in perspective. And, I'm tired of people riding Jordan Poole because I think I've had enough conversations with you that you should know where I feel about Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has gotten paid for the reward. The reward is in your work. In anything in life. He was rewarded for his work. Now he needs to go to the next level. I feel that he needs to be like the Draymond, but he has time to get there. There are a lot of things that he did do good tonight, right? He did, assist. I've never seen him dunk before. So there are a lot of good things we can take from that. Kuminga played a really good game. Even though they didn't start out good, there were a lot of flaws. I don't have time to go over them. They did compete. They did show that they could come back and compete. And that last guy, I'm glad you cut him off because you never liked that. He was a jerk. Peace out. I love you, JD.
No, I appreciate it, Robin. Yeah, look, I don't feel that bad about this loss either, evaluating it from the Warriors' point of view. I think this is all right, the starters didn't have it. Well, the starters have had it in just about every game collectively this year. Now, there's been some selective defense in some of these games where they haven't necessarily brought it early on in the season. That 0-5 trip, I think, is the one that really comes to mind more than anything. But I think when you look at it, top to bottom, this is a rare night where the starters collectively didn't have it. The bench in some ways bailed them out, allowed him to come back in the game, gave him opportunity to win it down the stretch, and ultimately they didn't hit enough shots. They had a couple calls go against him, and they were bitten by the fact that they got down 17. You only get down maybe 10 or 12, and you're a couple of buckets ahead in the closing minutes. The Warriors did also build a 4-point lead in the comeback. There was that frantic stretch there where the Warriors had built the lead up, and it really, you thought, oh, okay, this is a situation where they had the turnover and the deflection. DiVincenzo was able to turn the ball over. Poole looked like he passed to himself and was able to score, and the Warriors had the ball up 100-96 at that point. And so the Warriors, had a shot right there to maybe seize control of the game. They couldn't. And then Hardaway got a 2. Luka came back in the game and hit a 3 at that point. But the Warriors up 4 at 100-96, and you're thinking, okay, largest lead of the night. And the Warriors had a shot there with the basketball at that point, about 9:29 to go. They had the ball. Tim Hardaway Jr. came in, missed a 3, and then there was one of the Jordan Poole turnovers that were critical there. And then DiVincenzo had a turnover as well. So that was a key juncture, I thought, in the game when the Warriors had come all the way back and had, at that point, their largest lead of the night. And that's where the turnovers can kind of bite you a little bit. There's no doubt about it. But, yeah, Poole got paid. He got paid what he got paid, but he got paid to keep working and to keep trying to get better. And I think that's where, he does, and I keep saying it, feel like, all right, Draymond's in that group now with the second unit. DiVincenzo's back. Kuminga's finding his own as a part of that group. Lamb's been in there tonight. At other times it's been Andrew Wiggins who's been in with that group. But Jordan Poole is the constant, and Jordan Poole's the guy that has to find his game a little bit more consistently, a little bit more efficiently, and with fewer turnovers if the Warriors are going to be able to continue to ride this thing forward. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. John Dickinson here. Warriors wrap up a 95-7 the game as the Mavs beat the Dubs tonight 116-113. Let's go out to Bob in Marin next here tonight. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, JD. Thank you for taking the call. I think for the Warriors fans, I think this was a good night. The way Jonathan Kuminga came out and played tonight, and for him to be able to take on Luka Doncic from the get-go in the last minutes of the game, there's a lot of things we can talk about what could have been done. I think you know this more than anybody else because you follow the team, and basketball is about seeing what the coaching staff's doing on the other side of the line, and just playing with the matchups. And I think tonight the Mavs did a pretty good job of containing Steph Curry, not letting him go to the basket. Next time he'll make the shots. Next time he'll probably go around the big that he was trying to shoot the 3 from the outside and got called for travel. But I would say that tonight it took a huge stride as far as what the second team's going to look like. The people that call Klay Thompson useless, or I think that Steve Kerr doesn't know how to coach. They need to think again. This is just the beginning of the season. It's a quarter of the season passed, and Warriors are 500. In a 7-game series, no one wants to play these guys. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And you start looking around at the Western Conference as a whole, and the fact that the Warriors are right there in the mix. There's really nobody. They could have been buried even at 3-7 to the point where they wind up being in trouble. And I look at it every night on Warriors Wrap Up, and the Warriors with the loss tonight end up now at 11-11, which dips them down to 9th. But you look just within the last, and Portland's playing right now at home against the Clippers in the second half of the TNT doubleheader where the Warriors were the first part. The Warriors are 11-11, and Dallas is 10-10, and Minnesota's 10-11. The Warriors officially 9th right now. Utah has fallen off after a hot start. They were 12-6. They've lost 5 in a row. So the Jazz and the Warriors effectively tied. Utah's a half game up. Sacramento was having a little bit of a Cinderella beginning to their year. They were 10-6. Now they've lost 3 in a row. They are 10-9. The Warriors are right there. Portland had a little bit of a surprising positive start to the season. They're 4-6 in their last 10 after being 4 or 5 games over 500 at the beginning. They're 11-9, and they're sixth. I mean, hell, the Clippers are 12-9, and they've been playing with and without Kawhi and Paul George and all of that, and they're 12-9. They're fifth. So you just start looking at, the Suns are the top spot, and the Warriors are 4 games back of the top spot right now, but they are 2 games back of the 4 seed. So they're 11-11. The starters have been great, top to bottom, throughout the course of this season, and now the bench is coming along. They clearly are figuring out how they want to play and who has to play and what roles. And once you establish a foundation, and that's the thing for the Warriors. They've established the foundation for, all right, we all know who the starters were going to be. We know Jordan Poole's going to be the 6th man. We know DiVincenzo's going to be out there with Poole. Like, that's 7 players where they're going to play. Now JaMychal Green's going to play in the rotation every night. He's going to be a backup center. He's going to get his minutes, and he knows when he's going to get them. Kuminga has been added to that mix now, and that has been a tremendous positive as he's continued to grow. And, Draymond helping that group over the course of the last week and a half. Now you can start to tinker with it a little bit. Now you know what your baseline of, hey, everybody's healthy. This is how we want to play. Now you can match up on a night in, night out basis. A few more minutes for this guy, a few fewer minutes for that guy. Maybe you start to, hey, Moses Moody's coming in for somebody here to just give him a little bit of run to get a taste to be able to get back in the mix. Like, once you get that foundation down, though, where you're playing consistent basketball and you're winning at the level that the Warriors have been winning at here in 5 of the last 7 and really 5 of the last 6, then you can start to add and subtract and build a little bit of nuance and give some other players some opportunity. So I think the Warriors have to, and really for me tonight is the kind of game that gives you optimism even in a loss, that the Warriors are continuing to figure things out. 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. John Dickinson here on Warriors Wrap-Up on 95.7 The Game as the Warriors fall in Big D. Dallas beats the Warriors 116-113. Too much to overcome as far as the 17-point first quarter deficit for the Warriors in this one. Too much Luka Doncic as well down the stretch, whether it was finding teammates for buckets or whether it was scoring the basketball on his own. What an unreal night for Luka Doncic. 41 points to go with 12 assists, to go with 12 rebounds. That is a monster performance. He also had 4 steals. There were times tonight where he was really anticipating what the Warriors were trying to do defensively and trying to get in the passing lanes and really impact the game defensively and trying to force some turnovers there and had some success in different points of the game doing that. So you add all that up, and it was really a legendary type performance from a player that continues to grow into a mega superstar that he already has been in the league. Steph Curry, nice night for him, 32 points, 11-24. The three-point shot, though, 5 of 14 for Steph. He had some turnovers. The big one, the travel that was called there down the stretch in a moment where the Warriors, Curry probably could have taken the 2. I think he addressed that in his post-game press conference, which we'll run for you here coming up between now and 8:30. All right, we'll pause here. 888-957-9570. Still time to sneak in some more phone calls. How you feeling about this Warriors team in the micro, tonight's game, and why they didn't get it done versus the macro? A lot of bright spots, I think, that can be carried forward here, and the Warriors with the next 3 and 4 of the next 5 now back on the Chase Center hardwood, as the Dubs have been an excellent team, 9-1 on the home floor. So another opportunity back at 500 to get on a run and start to separate from 500. We'll talk about it all coming up next here. John Dickinson, 95.7 The Game.
Sell your RV fast with RV Exit at Cordelia RV Center. We specialize in all things RVs, even finding buyers for yours. With RV Exit, we'll help you sell your RV fast. We have hundreds of buyers lined up to buy your RV. Visit us in Fairfield or online at CordeliaRV.com.
Dub Nation, this is JP here.
Poole straightens up another three, and he is red hot right now. He can feel it.
You are dialed into the home of the Warriors.
Jordan Poole way downtown for Jordan Poole.
95-7 the game.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Missed Black Friday? Dell's Cyber Monday event starts now with deals on powerful business tech. The savings start now with up to 50% off on select business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL for Cyber Monday deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The best part about taking ZQuil Pure Z's Sleep Plus Next Day Energy at night is actually the next morning. I wake up alert with none of the grogginess from taking too much melatonin. Pure Z Sleep Plus Next Day Energy is a bilayer tablet with immediate release melatonin and extended release B vitamins to help me fall asleep naturally and wake refreshed. It's my secret weapon for a great night's sleep and a great morning.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Can't beat that.
ZQuil Pure Z's Gummies. Sleep better, wake your best.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a begging Christmas. We wish you a begging Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Doberman, let begging you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of begging. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's beggin'!
Where can you Black Friday even more for even less? Lowe's, actually. Save on a Craftsman 51-piece gunmetal chrome mechanics tool set. Was $94.98, now $49.98. Or a Craftsman 20-volt drill kit, now just $59. And get festive with a holiday living 7-foot Lewiston pine pre-lit artificial tree, now only $99. Black Friday is now. Don't miss the deals at Lowe's. Home to any possibility. Offer valid through 11/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
New Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at Walmart.
Thank you to all of the business owners who kept people employed during the pandemic. For all you've done, you may be eligible to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit, a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury Department, applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. The window is closing to claim your refund. Contact Paychex to see if you qualify. Paychex is proud to have helped more than 45,000 businesses secure over $9.2 billion in ERTC claims, an average of $190,000 per business. 50 years and thousands of experts in HR, payroll, benefits, and insurance. You may be eligible to claim the Employee Retention Tax Credit, a payroll tax refund from the United States Treasury Department, applicable to businesses who kept employees on payroll during the pandemic. The window is closing to claim your refund. Contact Paychex to see if you qualify. Visit paychex.com/ERTC to find out how Paychex can help you get additional cash into your business. Paychex.com/ERTC. Paychex.com/ERTC.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off of every Warriors game. Brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Curry, crowded by Doncic, drives by him, no look to the corner. Kuminga takes a dribble, takes the three, and hit it! The rookie hit it from the right corner. It's a one-point game. 108-107 Dallas.
That's the biggest shot of his career.
Now back to Warriors Wrap-Up on 95.7 The Game.
Yeah, huge corner three from Jonathan Kuminga. That came with 2:52 to go. As Tim Roy mentioned there, 108-107 Dallas at that point with the lead, and that really gave the Warriors an opportunity to hang in and win this game. Steph Curry then hit a three after Luka Doncic had missed a three, so the Warriors had the lead at 110-108 following that Kuminga three, but then Tim Hardaway with the three to answer with 1:49 to go, and that was the final time that the Warriors would be ahead right up until that shot. So they went ahead by two with the Curry shot, which followed the Kuminga shot, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. with a massive three that gave the Mavs the lead, and the Mavs would not relinquish the lead for the remainder of the final 149 in this one. 888-957-9570. Mavs won 16, Warriors won 13 as the Warriors drop their record to 11-11. They split the two-game roadie with the win at Minnesota and the loss tonight against the Mavs. Back at home on Friday night as the Chicago Bulls will be in town to take on the Warriors in that one. Just some thoughts on the game before we get to Steve Kerr. I said it right out of the chute. I thought tonight's the kind of game that does give you some optimism, even in a loss. The starters, not good enough in this one. Poor shooting early, too many fouls early, too many turnovers and offensive rebounds early. The Warriors found themselves down 17, but this was a game where the roles were reversed between the starting group and the bench. Bench played great, really lifted the Warriors back into the game. They've been stabilized with the addition of Draymond Green, but really in both stints tonight, they lifted the Warriors. Plus 6 in the first half. They were a plus in the second half as well. As the Warriors at the beginning of the fourth quarter were able to build that lead that we alluded to earlier when they were up by 4 at 100-96 and even had the basketball with a chance to go up by more. Jonathan Kuminga, the biggest bright spot of the night as he ends up with the 14 points and 10 boards. Kuminga, a force, had a couple of blocked shots in this game as well, had some defense against Luka Doncic, the big three that he hit down the stretch there to pull the Warriors within one. And, Jonathan Kuminga starting to find it, starting to figure it out, and people are starting to worry less and less about his minutes because the minutes are going up, and the minutes are going up because he's playing at an extremely high level right when the Warriors have needed him to play at an extremely high level. And I think, tonight it's Steve Kerr again figuring out how to finish the game with him. So we've seen this thing inch up from, hey, he's getting a 4-minute shift to a couple of 4-minute shifts to an 8-minute shift. 8 minutes has turned into 12. 12's turned into 15 or 16, which turned into 20. And now tonight it's just a tick under 26 minutes in this one for Kuminga. And he was effectively part of the closing group, it looked like, when he came in for Kevon Looney down the stretch in this one. Jordan Poole ended up in for Kuminga as the Warriors went to true small ball to try and win this thing with the offense over those final couple of possessions where they were looking to hit a three. So 888-957-9570. Before we hear from Steve Kerr, let's sneak in a couple of text messages, the 510, and I echo this. Kuminga played better than anybody tonight. I agree with that. 702, appreciate the text message from the Vegas area code. Do you think Klay will make the All-Star team this year? No, I do not think Klay Thompson will make the All-Star team this year. Again, you got to play more. You got to play more good games than bad games, and I get it. I mean, Klay's been great up until tonight in the last 5, but if you're just looking at, and I think Klay Thompson's missed 3 games this year, so let's say he's played in 18 or 19 games off the top of my head. He's had maybe 6 or 7 good ones. He's had maybe 10 rough ones, at least offensively rough ones. Those are going to have to go more dramatically in the other direction. He'd have to put together a stretch over the last, let's say, 5 or 6 games where over the next, let's say, 2 months, he plays at the level that he's played over the next over the last 5 or 6 games. So I would say it's more likely he doesn't. Plus, there's a ton of guards in the Western Conference that are going to be taking spots, and guards are guards in the West. It's not 2 guards. It's point. There's going to be a bunch of point guards that are going to be doing their thing on the All-Star team. 707, Kuminga starting to get it. Absolutely. And then different person from the 707 on the Xfinity mobile text line. Do you see all the starters or just Klay sitting out on Saturday? I think it would just be Klay on Saturday in the second of the back-to-back as the Warriors take on the Rockets, I believe, on Saturday. And so, yeah, that's been the trend. It really has been 5 and 7, 6 and 9 nights where the Warriors, and it happened a couple of times, both in New Orleans, where the Warriors have done that. In resting all of the starters. And the Warriors do typically do it on the road. So having a couple of off days and then playing the 2 games consecutively, I think it would just be Klay Thompson that wouldn't play in the second game of that home back-to-back. The 650, Warriors deserved to lose. Dallas deserved to win. Look at the turnovers. Turnovers definitely a part of that equation. And you look at the numbers combined from Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson, that plays a big role in why the Warriors don't win this game tonight. A combined 5 for 18 for those two. Yeah, and even Andrew Wiggins tonight, a 10-point game, 1 of 6 from 3. The Andrew Wiggins 3-point shot really is a tell for the Warriors. When Wiggins shoots a high percentage, he makes 3 or 4 threes at a high percentage. The Warriors, it feels like they almost never lose. And tonight, Wiggins was 1 for 6 and 4 for 11 overall. All right, let's hear from the head coach of the Warriors, Steve Kerr, following this one at American Airlines Center in Dallas as he addressed the Dubs, coming up just a little bit short. Here's the head coach.
What did you see down the stretch of that game? I mean, there was a lot of offensive firepower from both ends, but what did you see?
Well, they made some big shots. Hardaway's shot was the key, I thought, down the stretch. We have to expect that teams are going to make shots against us. It's just, we're going to be circled on every team's calendar, and the defending champs, and people want to take us out. So Dallas has not shot well the last 4 or 5 games, from 3 especially, and we got exactly what we expected. They made 15 threes, and Luka is Luka. He's just a tremendous shot creator, shot maker, and we just couldn't get the ball to go down tonight. But love the effort. I told the guys we're in a really good spot. We have kind of rounded into form. Our bench has an identity. It very easily could have won that game, but ball's got to go in the hoop, and some nights it doesn't. So we move past this one and get ready for the next one.
Kuminga has a double
had a double his first season. He's strung together now 3 really good games. Thought about it.
Best game I've ever seen JK play because everything he did contributed towards making an impact on winning. His defense on Luka was fantastic. He was disciplined. He stayed down. He challenged shots. I think he had a couple blocks. He stayed patient offensively. He just took the shots that were there. He knocked down a big 3. JK has been fantastic. He's really coming into his own, and that's very exciting.
The shooting struggles, especially early to that, just more to do with it just being an off night, or it's something that you saw there?
No, just an off night. Yeah. I mean, you could see right away we fell down, I think, 23-6, and we had plenty of good looks. And it's just part of the season. This is, this happens, and no big deal.
We said that the bench has an identity now. How would you kind of best describe that unit right now?
We're pretty good defensively. Dante's doing a fantastic job bringing energy and pressuring the ball. We're running a lot of stuff through Draymond. Draymond's anchoring our defense. You got JK and Lamb both playing really well. Wiggs comes in with that group often. He didn't play as much with that group tonight because Lamb and JK were both playing so well. And then Jordan is such a big threat to score. So they found a good groove, and I think we're only going to get better from here.
That travel call on Steph was a pretty decisive moment in down the stretch of the games. What are your thoughts on that?
Calls are calls, so some go your way, some don't. And I guess the NBA is making an emphasis on plays like that. And I don't know if it was a travel or not. I haven't seen it, but it's going to be really interesting to see. Like, if we're going to call that now, we got to call it all the time because it happens 30 times a game. Guys change pivot feet, and so I'm really happy that the officials are going to emphasize it, but you got to be consistent with it.
Second question, Clay had a great look there at the final horn. Is that just pretty much as good of an execution?
Yeah, guys executed the play really well, and Clay got a good look and just left it a little bit short. But Clay never hesitates, and he always wants the big shot. And things didn't go great for him tonight, but he kept competing, and I felt that way about all of our guys. Nothing really kind of fell our way, and Dallas was pretty desperate. I think they had lost 4 in a row, and they played really well, and we still had a chance. So proud of the guys, but we just couldn't quite get there.
What did you think of your starting unit? I mean, so far this season, right, their plus minus has just been incredibly high, and tonight they were all negative. Most of all of your bench flip-flop. What did you think of that?
Well, after 21 games of setting all kinds of records for being so high with their plus minus, I guess they were due for a game where, things didn't go their way. So I don't even think about it. We just move on.
After the last game, you had your arm around JK after the game, had a talk with him, has a great game this game. What's it like seeing him kind of just grow up this quickly at such a young age?
It's exciting because it's not easy. It's not easy for him, to be thrown into a high pressure environment and to have to be counted on to win. A lot of guys, a lot of his, colleagues, guys who were drafted near him are being, given 30 minutes every night, and there's not nearly as much pressure to win because they're not on championship teams. So he's handled everything really well. I think the way he's playing is a direct reflection of his attitude and his approach these last few weeks. He's really understanding the value of really embracing the mentoring that his teammates are giving him. And he's understanding that we are just coaching him just to get him to be the best player he can be. And he's on a good track. So it's nice to see.
Wow, some strong comments from Steve Kerr with respect to Jonathan Kuminga. Said it was the best game he's ever played, with his play impacting winning. And again, I've said it earlier, and I'll just reiterate. I mean, this is the way, and it's been a slow build for Kuminga, and there were stops and starts as far as him getting opportunities and not doing the things or playing with the energy that the Warriors coaching staff wanted him to play with. But tonight it was all there. And what you're starting to see is if he brings the defense and he brings the athleticism and he brings the rebounding and he brings the hustle, he's going to get opportunities in the context of the offense to get easy buckets that can lead to getting to the free throw line. Although the one downside for Kuminga, I thought tonight was the 1 of 4 at the free throw line. The Warriors could have used that. I think he was 17 of 20 coming in to the season from the free throw line. I think they said that on the TNT broadcast. But 1 of 4 in the ball game tonight. So he had been hitting them early on in the year and then not in the ball game tonight. But if Kuminga's going to play like that, then Kuminga is going to be somebody that can be trusted in a playoff rotation. And if he can work his way to that point, then this Warriors team has another, just another guy that can help in the biggest moments. And this team can also, leading up to that, win a hell of a lot of regular season games with him playing at that level. I agree with Coach Kerr. The Hardaway shot, critical. Mavs made shots. Luka was terrific. Warriors didn't make enough open looks at different points in this ball game. And you look at the three-point shooting tonight, Warriors out-hit from three, 15 of 44 for Dallas, 11 of 43 for the Dubs, so 25% from three. And you just look at really Poole, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins just crushing. 1 of 6, 1 of 6, 1 of 6. So 3 of 18 from three for Wiggins, Thompson, and Poole in a game that the Warriors lose by 3, and the Mavs hit 15 of 44. And Tim Hardaway Jr., he was in a bad way shooting the basketball from 3. He hits 5 of 11 himself in this one to go for 22. We've seen Tim Hardaway Jr. have some big games against the Warriors in the past. But all in all, I think the Warriors have to be happy again when you take the bigger picture approach with where things stand right now. They're starting to figure out how they need to operate and function on a night in, night out basis. And Jordan Poole's the final step, I think, as far as that bench group, getting him comfortable, getting him into one of these hot streaks with that group and the others that are starting to come into their own. And I think that's where the bench group can take on even another level than they've had to this point. Although tonight they were the key to keeping the Warriors even in this game. All right, 888-957-9570. Let's go ahead and hear from Stephen Curry after the ball game. Did he think he traveled? Did he not? What happened on that play? Well, Steph's going to address all of it. So here is number 30 from Big D.
Bang, bang situation. Dumb play by me to not take the layup. I got a little confused on what the time and score was, honestly. Went for the hero shot. I didn't think it was a travel to the point where you don't let the play run out. But who am I to say?
Steve basically said he just wants to be consistent with the call. It turns like there was a handful of tonight, up to the travel call. There was about a handful tonight, it seemed like. He just wants to be consistent. What have you seen recently with the NBA's feeling on the travel calls?
Tonight it was I traveled earlier on the same play. I think he thought I did the same exact thing, but I didn't. But you're not going to get too wrapped up in those. Luka had one tonight. I think they got a couple on JP, which I haven't seen them. But all in, you're not really worried about the big picture of it, just in terms of just let the flow of the game happen. And hopefully, like you said, there is just consistency. And for us as players, we just got to go out and do our job.
Steve was saying he can look back and say, you guys were right there, and he was very pleased with that. And just how would you assess the entire game and the play down the stretch?
I'm super proud of JP, Dante, JK, Jermichael. They all gave us an opportunity to even have something to play for, late in that second quarter and the rest of the game. When our starters play like we did the first 6 minutes and, they build a lead, our patterns have been we hadn't had any chance to come back and we, lose those games by double digits. And it's kind of a snooze fest the whole time. But our guys came in and, played amazing on both ends of the floor, put it all together, gave us life to the point where we're down 1 going into halftime, and a couple threes go down and we get a couple more stops. It's a different tone, and it's because of them on the bench. So I know there's been a lot of talk about their performance and the scrutiny and all that. If they play like they did tonight, we'll be a hell of a team.
Asked you about him yesterday after practice, but another great performance. And kind of, again, his growth, especially in these past 3 games, how important and impactful it's been for the guy.
The reason he played 26 minutes, I don't know the last time he's done that in a meaningful game where, he's in the rotation, he's relied on, he's trusted to go do his job. And I think everything he did was in the spirit of trying to make winning plays. And it was amazing to see. He's guarding, physical, smart, weak side blocks, rebounds. making an open pass, he had a big three down the stretch. Like, all that stuff is huge. So for his confidence, I hope he's proud of the way he played and understands there's a reason he played 26 minutes because coach loved what he saw. Sure, he had a crazy highlight reel, like a high school game or something. No, just messing with you. No, definitely. Again, do what you're asked to do, play with confidence, use your God-given abilities, and that's what he did tonight.
What makes him such a tough player to go up against?
I mean, his size and his ball handling skills keep you on the edge the whole game just because that plus, being a 3-level scorer, you have to kind of worry about everything. You don't want to get a step-back threes going, so you got to press up on him, but he's shifty and got a great handle, so he can use his leverage to get by you. And then, obviously, his core vision is unreal, so he's kind of the offensive, package of being just a playmaker and a scorer. And when he's knocking down shots like he did tonight, it's tough. Kind of want to take something away from him, but he kept making play after play. He even made a couple of defensive players on the other side, a couple, steals and a strip on me. But he's been playing at an extremely high level, and he's been getting better every year.
Yeah, Luka Doncic has been unbelievable, and the Mavs really did need a win in this one tonight as Dallas had come in dropping, 4 consecutive games to dip below the 500 mark. So they get back to the 500 mark. The Warriors dip back to the 500 mark at 11-11, and you heard it straight from the MVP's mouth. Steph Curry saying he did not think he traveled on that play, said the ref thought that he made a move, the same move earlier in the game, but also admitting that he got a little caught up with the time and score in that particular instance and not just not fully realizing at that point that he needed to just take the 2 as the Warriors were down by 2 in that moment where Curry gets called for the travel. He had the 2. If he takes the 2, we're looking at a tie game. And if the Warriors can get a stop there in the closing seconds, maybe overtime that way, as opposed to Dorian Finney-Smith going to the free throw line where he split a pair and then found the Warriors up or down by 3 and then having to go for the 3 to tie. Great look from Klay Thompson, but the Warriors ultimately come up short on that one and come up short in this one as the Mavs get the victory. John Dickinson here on Warriors Wrap-Up. Final couple of minutes as the Warriors fall in this one 116-113. A lot of the travels, like it feels like this is a short timer type of a thing as far as the emphasis on traveling, the emphasis on palming. It's something that's been a much more big part of NBA games. It feels like recently, just within the last couple of weeks, I know that the palming violations took a toll. Now it really seems like the league is trying to focus on the shuffling of the pivot foot and that on a 3. I know there was a play very similar to the play that Steph Curry was called for a travel. Tyler Hero against Sacramento in the first week and a half or 2 of the season. He basically made the Curry move in a tie game, drilled the 3, and clearly had traveled, and they didn't call it, and the Heat went on to win the game. There's basically no time left on the clock at that point, or minimal time, less than a second on the clock at that point in which he hit that shot, and the Heat wound up winning. I think that's led to, over the last few weeks, the emphasis on the moving of the pivot foot and the like when players are going up for that 3-point shot and shuffling around. But I think come the All-Star break, palming and some of those traveling calls are not necessarily going to be called at the level that they have been. And look, maybe the players adjust and maybe it stops becoming a factor on that front as well. I think we've seen the take foul. They called a bunch of those take fouls early on in the year, and different category, not apples to oranges, but a lot of the take fouls that were getting called early in the year, teams have been able to make the adjustment, I think, for the most part. So all in all, Warriors come up short, but back in action on the home floor on Friday night, and things still trending, I think, in the positive direction with the Dubs winning 5 of the last 7 here over the course of the last week and a half. All right, that'll do it. we'll call it a night. Want to thank Sterling Bennett and everybody in our San Francisco studios for cutting the highlights and the post-game sound. Great job by everyone. I'll be back on Friday from Chase Center. Warriors Live begins at 6 o'clock. It's the Warriors and the Chicago Bulls, as the Dubs will have the next couple of days off. Also, keep a lookout on social media, 95.7 The Game. We'll have a Warriors Weekly podcast, myself and Matt Steinmetz, looking to drop right around noon tomorrow. So look for that. Steiny will join me, and we'll dissect everything that's been going right for the Warriors over the course of these last couple of weeks. So, yeah, look for that tomorrow here for 95.7 The Game. That'll do it. Fox Sports Radio is coming your way next. Mavs 116, Warriors 113, and you heard it right here on 95.7 The Game. Good night.
Fremont Bank. If there's one thing we understand more than anybody, it's that it takes a local bank to really get the needs of local businesses. And more than anything, local businesses need access. Access to a knowledgeable banker and access to a full suite of business services. Can't come to the bank? We'll come to you. Our devotion to our clients ensures your business never misses a beat. That's why Fremont Bank remains the right choice for local and family-owned businesses. Learn more at fremontbank.com.